All right, so this part too, because my husband called me, interrupted me. So, what was I saying? Oh, state license. So, I could see 5 to 6 months before getting approved and getting your survey, because you got to think, hopefully all your paperwork is on point and they don't have you amend or change anything, because I think they give you like 2 or 3 times to have where they send it back to you to make those changes, and after that then you can't fill out another application till at least another year or something like that. So that's that situation. But again, start building those lines of communication. Hey, I submitted an application about 30 days ago. I haven't received any information. Are you able to tell me where I'm at in the application process? Appreciate, and always put in something, nice. Let them know that you're nice. You're not, because I'm pretty sure majority of the time they're hearing people bitch and complain, excuse my language, versus, just being nice to them. I'm a firm believer is you're gonna get more being nice, with someone versus being crabby with them, because they're people too, and they might be having a bad day. So I always like to appreciate your expertise, appreciate your signs, kind regards, just things like that to show like you're approachable, you're nice, but hey, I need some answers. So you can always schedule a phone call, whoever is then assigned to your application. Like if they send you back like a letter, like, okay, we didn't approve you, if you make these changes, right? So they have numbers. You can always, I will always send an email like, hey, because a lot of times you just call them, they don't answer. They do return phone calls on their voicemails, but sometimes it takes a couple days. But just shoot an email like, hey, when can we schedule a phone call? I like to talk to people, because sometimes like you might have more than one question and the emails can get long and draggy, or you forget, or that you got to wait. So if you're able to get them to schedule a phone call with you and have all your questions written down and have a productive phone call, where they're like, okay, if you get this, and the people that I've worked with are like, okay, well, you just need this to say this, or you need to adjust this to say this, or whatever, and then resubmit your application, and then we can move forward with getting you scheduled for your survey. And the survey would be, if you're getting your license, would be to have their state surveyor come out, and they go through the home, make sure that the home is has a certain criteria, and they approve you and you get your license from there. So again, that process could take, I want to say, up to 6 months. It could be sooner in other parts. I want to say Milwaukee, because it's longer, because it's more concentrated, it's more saturated. They have a higher volume of people trying to open up adult family homes and get licenses and things like that. So I would say Milwaukee, it might be more of a slower turnaround time than going if you're in another smaller county, like Waukesha, Madison, Racine, Kenosha, things like that. All right, so that's that. It took me 5 months from the time I submitted my application, but that was the error. That was with error. That was with over the 70 days that they allowed. So it looks like someone responded to your question about the application. So yeah, great. And I think that is accurate, pretty accurate. Yeah, like I just said, it takes about 5 to 6 months. 3 to 6 months, depending on where you're at, what's going on that you don't know internally that's going on. And application volume, other stuff. Like I said, it could a number of things that could vary. So that's that. The other thing is, you don't always just have to go the route of getting licensing. If even though you might have a 3 or 4 bedroom, you can still just do the certification, get you a 1 or 2 bedroom. Now you got to think, certification, you're going to get a higher rate on the people coming in there, because you only have 1 or 2 beds. So they got to pay you more to meet that threshold for you to be able to pay staff and run the home. And a lot of times I feel like some of these group homes, the way some of these people are, a lot of times they're only able to get maybe 1 or 2 people in the home, because you don't know who you're gonna. If you got somebody with some behaviors and things like that, it may be hard to fill a home with 3 or 4 bedrooms and keeping it full. So and then that way with the certification, you don't have to go the route of getting licensed through the state and going through that process. That's a whole process you can skip. You will just be setting up your provider services directly through the managed care organization. But now also you still gotta, now with the new change, they still want you to create, even though you get certified with the managed care organization, they still want you to do a Ford Health application through Ford Health because it's a better way for them to streamline everything, apparently. And I have mixed reviews about centralizing everything. I really do. I feel like when you centralize and take out the aspect of competition with these places in the government and whatever company they have to run, like single company they have to run and manage everything, there is room for corruption. There is room for error. There's room for where it takes out the ability for us adult family homes to advocate for ourselves, to make sure that we're getting justice and being treated fairly. And I already sometimes feel like, they're pushing it where it making it seem like you're working for them. It's like, no, this is a business. I'm a business owner. I'm a provider. I provide a service. I should be able to have, if I decide to run my business in this sort of fashion, and it takes me this much, and these people want to come to my home because they want this service that I offer in my home, that should be, and I get there's limitations on things, especially when you're receiving government funding and things like that, but that's my little pedestal thing about that. But I'm not gonna stay too long on that. We could talk about that and go and open a whole nother conversation. So thank you for responding to the comment. I appreciate that. All right, one more video to ask questions on. Videos. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Can you go over MCO process and what you think the daily rate difference between non-ambulatory and ambulatory? So, non-ambulatory and ambulatory can be the same regular base daily rate for you, because even though someone is not walking, doesn't mean that they're not independent. It's people out here can transfer themselves in and out their wheelchairs, dress themselves, care for themselves for the most part, leave about and do their regular day, and they're in a wheelchair. So I think you look more into like the level of functional care that they need, right? So they're not ambulatory and they need to be washed up, because they can be ambulatory and still be max assist with everything, right? Because they don't know how to care for themselves. You guys might so like unable to provide assistance for themselves, care for them safety wise. So those I can't really tell you, because it could range depending on whatever managed care organization. I know right now the only good thing with the changes that are coming, all of the managed care organizations have to follow this minimum tier rate system, right? So if you go online and you look up Wisconsin minimum rate tiers, it'll go over and show you. And I will, like I said, I will create a dedicated video next, and I'll put in the links for that. But in the meantime, because this is supposed to be a quick videos and answer questions to go over. I think based off the rates, I think they were starting off at like 2 something a day for the daily rate. And that was some like tier 1. It was like maybe 220. I think it went up to like 230 or 240, or started like at 210 and went up to 230 based off the tiers. And each tier is tell you like what this person is doing and what that person be. And again, that's a minimum rate, supposed to be a minimum rate. How do you go about negotiating the rate based off that? That is still something that I'm learning and figuring out. And that's why I plan on attending when I attend this other meeting and asking a question, how do you go about negotiating once the rate? But they were really, I think they're going to be having more videos for trainings about that. This last training I went to, they were just more trying to stay focused on questions that pertain to you filling out the application, because that's what they were going through. So again, I will also reach out to my some of the maybe contractors through the managed care organizations and see if they know. And from what I know, like I said, they have been, let me see, they got an email from somebody. Make it really quick. All right. So for somebody I know I've been contacting, getting information through with My Choice is it says Molina My Choice Wisconsin is actively developing provider amendment templates and updating the MIDAS system for authorizations, claims, and related operational processes. It says regarding the HCBS minimum fee schedule directed by the state of Wisconsin Department of Health Services. So again, they're still figuring out how they're going to be doing this, I guess, negotiating and figuring out of rates based off of these tiers. So once we receive official approval notification from DHS, providers will be required to electronically sign an amendment. While the exact date of the rate increases and member tier determinations are not yet available, My Choice Wisconsin is actively in the planning stages of implementation and compliance by December 31st of 2024. As additional information is available, we promptly communicate with all network providers. Please go and feel free to visit the DHS website. Minimum fee schedule for home and community-based services. Minimum fee schedule for home and community-based services is what you need to look for, right? So it takes you to this Ford Health, with the link that she sent me, takes me to this Ford Health portal online, and it goes over a minimum fee schedule for home and community-based services. So again, if you are not receiving like private pay or anything like that, you're going to be not only private pay, and you're going to be receiving Medicaid government assistance for caring for individuals in your adult family home. This is something you really need to be looking at because this is what you're going to have to be following. So the Wisconsin Department of Service has created a minimum fee schedule for adult home and community-based services. The schedule is a list of the lowest rates managed care organizations can pay providers of certain adult long-term care services in family care partnership, and the program of all-inclusive care for the elderly PACE. It applies. So again, this is the minimum, at minimum, what they can pay, which means that they would need to, that they can pay more, right? There is, again, when I ask, and I feel like I've asked in many different ways, how do we negotiate rates based off of care? That's what I would think, right? So I don't know, maybe I'm not asking clearly enough. I might send out another question email to one of these contract specialists and go from there. if I get a good answer, I will definitely share it. But so yeah, so supportive care agency or supportive care member self-directed. So supportive care agency, they bill by the 15-minute rate, and it has the rate on there. For tier 1, it goes through for tier 1 members for for a 1 to 2 bedroom home, starts off at $373.80 a day. For a 3 to 4 bed in home, it starts off at, for a tier 1, at $203.50. Now again, you're going to get less for a 3 to 4 bedroom because they're calculating based off of you being able to fill each of those rooms to whatever, right? So that's why the adult family homes with 3 to 4 beds are rates appear to be lower than somebody with a 1 to 2 bed, right? So tier 2 for the 1 to 2 bed starts off at $406.36. For a 3 to 4 bed is $220.79 for a tier 2 person, minimum rate. And the 1 to 2 bed for a tier 3 individual with tier 3 issues, their minimum rate is $423.65 a day. And for a 3 to 4 bed adult family home, the minimum rate would be $238.08 for somebody in the tier 3 level. And again, there is a link for frequently asked questions. There is webinar recordings that they've been having. They have the PowerPoint slides. They have the caregivers who want to receive less than the minimum fee schedule amount can fill out this form. I don't know why you would want to do that, but okay. New provider enrollment system, and then they'll link to the new provider enrollment system. Most adult long-term care waiver services, if you're receiving the waiver services for HCBS, providers will soon need to enroll into the Wisconsin Medicaid using the Forward Health portal. So that's something, again, I went over. So I will just copy this link into the comments of this video for you to get in, start looking, start reading and educating yourself. I will be preparing another video going over some things, probably like application process. I might even like do a phone call to like just show you like how I would call one of these customer service and the questions I would ask about like, hey, I'm looking to open a adult family home, yada yada yada, and just like talk to someone, let you know like you don't have to be afraid to call people and talk to them and ask them questions. You're not going to learn unless you do, right? So I'm going to end this video here. Again, subscribe to ground yourself. Again, right now everybody's focused on adult family home. I will have other videos on other things, but that's kind of the thing I feel like everybody's been like asking me more about. Don't compare yourself. I'll say, hey, don't compare your success to someone else's success, where you're at in your journey to someone else's journey. You don't know where one person is at versus where you're at and where you have been through. Everybody's journey is different. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. It's all a learning process. Even failures are not like just a failure, right? They're learning experiences. So you can either let it discourage you and you get out of it, or you can let it motivate you. You can learn from it, dust yourself off, get up again, like Aaliyah would say. Or it could be a situation where you're like, you know what? I tried it. I'm proud of myself. It's not for me. Let me find something else to do. And that's fine. You have to learn what motivates you. You have to learn what your niche is, and figure it out. So again, I'm gonna leave it there. It was great to get back into the swing of things. I enjoy this. And again, subscribe, like the video. It's free to like, and share the videos. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support, and look forward to making new videos for you guys and content and helping. You know, my goal is to help as much as possible. I love helping. That's why I became a nurse, you know, and I want to depend on my way of helping would be different from what the general perception of what a nurse would be. So I've always wanted to help because somebody had to help me to get here in this position. I'm very grateful for the people who I've been able to lean on to provide assistance with. I'm very, very grateful. Like, you just don't even understand. Like, people didn't even have to like share information. But I also came, not just with like thinking someone's gonna give me some game for free. I definitely did some homework on my own. I definitely tried to be as prepared as I can. So do that. People don't mind helping people who see that they're trying to help themselves, and that's just where I'm at. So enjoy. Y'all have a great day. Look forward to more videos. We're a family here, and yeah, let's get to it. Bye.